welcome back to my channel. Now my bike has arrived in the Netherlands and I am very happy about that. It's gonna need some work because it's gonna get tested here in the Netherlands in order to get it on a Dutch license plate. So I've ordered some parts and I'm gonna make it all up to date and ready for the next adventure. Just to hear the sound again of my bike is perfect. I have ordered heaps of parts and I've got to get the bike through a inspection by the Dutch government to be able to get it on a Dutch license plate. Now this is going to be a thorough inspection and they're going to measure sound if it complies to all the rules and regulations, and that means I'm gonna have to need to do some work on it. I'm gonna get this bike back in perfect state. Amongst other things, a few things that should happen on the bike is I'm going to have to put new mirrors on it. The Acropovic exhaust that is on my bike needs to be removed. I've ordered a second-hand exhaust and I'm gonna put a new exhaust on it, temporary. I have got my side fairings there, which I am going to replace. They have broken off in the desert recovery. New tires. The tires are nearly the same, but because they don't comply to Dutch rules and regulations, I'm gonna have to replace them. Temporary, just for the test. These are the parts that I have ordered. Going from air filters to oil filters, to oil, chain loop, air filter loop. Heaps of parts, push drive rubbers. Heaps of parts, push drive rubbers, spark plugs, bolts, nuts. A new fairing, mirrors, chain, sprockets. Amongst other things, there is a rip in my seat. So I've ordered a new seat cover. And that's gonna make sure that this is gonna be fixed up. So let's get it fixed. Now I'm going to be replacing my front fender, of which the attachment points have broken off. My shed, and today is going to be the last day that I've got time to work on the bike. The bike is going for a inspection by the Dutch government to make it roadworthy here and to get a Dutch license plate on it. I've got to replace the tires, the front and the rear. The tires are still fine, but because they don't have a European approval on it, I'm going to have to replace them temporarily. I made a little hoist system. I've rigged the bike on a rope to the roof of my shed. And I'm going to start with the front wheel. One very important thing is when you are going to remove the front or the rear wheel is to make sure you don't press the brake levers, because the calipers will squeeze together and that way you make it yourself very difficult to get the wheel back in. Now I'm going to start with undoing two bolts here, then undoing the main axle bolt and then removing the wheel. And then replacing the tube as well as the tire itself. The last few days we were having some really good weather in the Netherlands. However, last few days it's been rainy as well it's pretty cold. So that's why I'm working in the shed instead of outside.
We go out for a beer, it's so clear when you're here, but we never get near enough. We drink and we dance, you don't give it a chance. Is it really romance you feel? When you're around, we both try to pretend you're just a guy, and I am just your friend. What if all of my love
Finally, I've got the wheel out. What a ginormous fight.
would you throw me like dirty
Hoppa.
clothes? Or would we
Tire.
live forever?
Alright. Now, one thing that I always do when I'm replacing tires is, if you've got the front shock absorbers, I always put a screwdriver in between the brake pads and wiggle them open. That way, if they come inwards a little bit more, you're not fighting as bad later on to get the brake calipers open again. Alright, that is number one. So on the right I've got my new tire and this is my old one. Now if you compare the two of them, they really look, this one even looks rougher, nearly look identical. Really the only reason why I've got to change them now is because the tires that I had put on in Australia haven't got a European approval. So it's just paperwork. Anyways, let's continue. Yeah. I've only got to do the second and last wheel, and then both wheels have been replaced. Now watch this, a funny thing. After replacing a motorbike tire, one thing is very important, and that's called setting the rim. Now the black part is called the rim, and you want to make sure that you set the tire on the rim. And for an example, in this section you can see that the rim is properly set. You can see a little black line there. This section isn't set as properly. Now there's a few things that you can do to set the rim. One is over pressuring the tire. Another one is putting a bit of pressure in it, higher pressure in it, and then putting the tire in the sun. But that didn't work for me, those two things. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go for a little ride. And hopefully the rim will set because of that. If the rim hasn't been set, you can see a wobbly wheel, as I like to call it. Have a look at the wheel in relation to the shock absorber. It's going all over the place. But that's only in the rubber part of the wheel. It isn't actually in the rim itself. Now on the bike I've got a great Akrapovic exhaust system. It's a beautiful exhaust. The only thing is, because I don't have decibel killers in it, it's a bit too loud. So I'm going to have to replace the exhaust I've bought a second-hand standard exhaust, which I'm gonna put under the bike as well. I've got a blinker to fix. I hope it's ready in the morning so I can bring it to the Dutch testing center. Now, to me it seems crazy to replace the beautiful Aquapovic exhaust with a stock exhaust, but the Dutch government allows a certain amount of decibel to come out of the exhaust, and with this one I'm not sure if I'm going to be under that limit. Getting this bike on a Dutch license plate costs nearly €1,000 or $1,600, and if it doesn't pass immediately, I'm going to have to go and get it tested again, and that costs another near €500. Bit of luck. Just go slide this there. A good reason why we put exhausts on bikes is this. Without the exhaust, it's way too loud.
Wat zou er in godsnaam in moeten zitten?
Weet ik niet. Wel zeker weten dat dat niet iets gaat beschadigen.
Weet ik van nodig.
Jij bewegen, ik ga hem begeleiden met mijn vinger of met een andere sleutel.
Je hebt niet nog een langer zeker?
Ja, dat was van een Yamaha.
Wilt u het ook opstellen?
Nee, hou hem nog maar even tegen, ja. Graag. Ga jij aan de rechterkant staan?
Net aan op.
Juist. Oké. Niet meer service te doen. Heel zwaar of dat is een vet. Toch maar zelf als Good morning. Today is a very special day. I'm bringing my bike towards the RDW, which is a Dutch testing center for motorcycles, cars and everything. And they're gonna check it and see if it is roadworthy for the Netherlands. And then I am able to get a Dutch license plate, and then I can ride again. And then I'm ready to conquer Europe on the bike. Now for the last few weeks I have been working on my bike to get it roadworthy in the Netherlands. And the bike already was roadworthy, but I had to change some things. I think that my original exhaust was too loud, so I've changed that up to a stock exhaust. I've put different tires on it. They're nearly the same, but the other ones don't have a European approval. So I've done that. I've done some maintenance on the bike, oil change, changed out the air filter, lubed the chain, all that sort of minor stuff I did as well. And I'm going to bring it to the Dutch RDW, which is the test center of the government, where you bring your bike or car to. They're gonna check the roadworthiness of the bike or the vehicle. Now, I hope that the testing of the roadworthy testing of the bike is going to be done within 2 weeks or something like that. But I'm not sure if that's gonna work out. So the only thing I can do really is wait, drop the bike off, and then wait till they get back to me. And then start riding again. I'm really looking forward to this. I'm standing at the RDW. I'm not supposed to film here. But this is the location where they're going to test the bike for its roadworthiness. This is what it looks like. And now I've got to wait a few weeks, and then hopefully the bike gets approved straight away.
If you liked my video, let me know. Like, share and subscribe.